Next question: the Vatican. So we have some rolling out blackouts in the Vatican. They've got some roads closed. We also know about the Leonardo um, military contractor and the satellites apparently leading to the Vatican is the one responsible for switching the votes. Can you comment on what do you think is going on here?
Yeah, so the Pope and the Cardinals were removed last year. What we're seeing is there's a dome under the Vatican that goes to Jerusalem that has massive amounts of gold, meticulous records of where the gold came from who they stole everything throughout all the history, from every family, their lineages, the cities, countries that aren't even there anymore. And then there's massive amounts of ancient religious artifacts, artwork, all kinds of things. So they are now needing to get that out. So they made it dark and took it out under the cover of darkness because people would think it's, alien invasion if you see Hawks, TR-3Bs and 7s and big, huge solar warden ships coming down, over the Vatican. It would be freaking people out. So at least you can use the cover of darkness and do things in a way which doesn't alarm people.
Can you comment if they seize the Vatican bank accounts?
Yes.
And do you have
And
any, go ahead.
the people at the very top in Italy and in those banking institutions as well have been arrested.
And do you have any idea how much money was in those accounts?
What I'm being told is close to $1 billion.
Okay. Well, I heard somewhere somebody said 34 quads, but whether, and there's probably, the amount of gold under there just is absolutely astonishing.
Are you referring to the gold as well?
Well, I mean, the gold, I suppose, the assets. Yeah. So all that, I'm assuming they're going to put that.
Go into the gold as well. It's when they first got in there, it's 150 miles long, 60 meters high, 120 meters wide for 150 miles of solid gold bullion. It's more gold than they believed existed on Earth. Wow. So it's in the high quads.
Probably in the quintillions.
Yeah, it's an amount of gold that is, for most people, a value that's unfathomable. Yeah, and what I'm being told, because of the meticulous, the cabal loves to gloat. So every time they tax somebody and they figure that out, how much the taxes, like the federal income tax that goes to the Federal Reserve to pay the fake loans, that's just a complete heist. So they're taking meticulous records. Okay, from James Rink, we stole this amount per grain of silver, or per grain, per amount of gold. And so they keep meticulous records of everything. So it won't be hard to redistribute everything, but it will allow for a vast amount to be redistributed. You can't just do that as a lump sum, because then people go crazy too. You got to do it like they've been doing the disclosure, like they will do this. You will have first you do the drip, 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 then the hose is going steadily, and then you have the flood. So yeah, things are going to be just like that timeline. It's going to be an increasing landslide as it'll be a drip of a snowball at first, but it'll be quite incredible.
Crystal?
Yes,
or Pontus, you have a question?
well, if okay, it's all very well that we won the war. Why can't we just? I know you said that you don't want to burn some brain and so conditioned and zombied out with the brainwashing and everything, but we, the starseeds, are very tired and disappointed and very exhausted with all this long drawn to come out and do the things that we have been trained to do. Like, for instance, we want to bring free energy to humanity. We want to bring the mid-bits forth as well to heal and to turn this place around.
I tried to do the same thing. Where did that lead? You wound up all of that having to be taken by the cabal to, the original, and the Alliance made copies of everything and created the plan to end the cabal. Because of that, in 1903, the Alliance formed with the Van de Graaff, Tesla, the Trump brothers, and Howard Hughes, because they saw you can't just bring these technologies with the cabal here. You got to get rid of the cabal. But again, you can't get rid of thousands and thousands of years of a cabal that's infiltrated every organization, everything everywhere. You got to clean everything up first. And in the process of that, you got to wake the masses of the earth up so that they learn to become responsible and pay attention and learn how to think logically and not just believe that authority is truth, that to think logically and see things. So if you see somebody in the White House backing up a stairs, a policeman with a bunch of people coming at him, who's filming it? I mean, it's obviously a photo op. You see all of this. Learn to think. I mean, your people are wearing a mask.
So Ashley Babbitt, is she an actress?
Yeah.
The people who are been conditioned and brainwashed, but would they look at WikiLeaks? I mean, there's still, the only way is to take over mainstream media and to have this 10 days of darkness and to zap it into their consciousness, the truth. Otherwise, people just won't wake up.
Yeah, you got to show people what's happened, but it's got to be done in a way where they understand it. And so that's why it's important to do this right. You can't do things, the ends justifies the means, because if you do that, then in time you will become the cabal. You will just replace what you're taking out. If you use extreme prejudice, you use disrespect for life, you just bulldoze this through, you wind up becoming the power elite. Your Quebec Artichoke says, never interfere with an enemy while they destroy themselves. We need to set them up just like you do in chess. You set your enemy up to destroy themselves.
To move on here, I wanted to ask Gene, are you familiar with the raid on Biden's compound in the Ukraine?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So can you confirm, is this a real, this actually did take place?
Yes.
Okay. And so in this article here, we find that there was a 200-acre estate, and the Delta went down in there, and they found, let's go down here. They found the building was stripped. It was frigid inside, no electricity. And then they also found that there were people in the kitchen, but it was empty. And then they found $300 million in gold bullion, and they manufactured Type 56 assault rifles, Chinese manufactured, as well as a maze of chambers and tunnels underneath that ran for miles in every direction with ankles and shackles bolted to the walls in various locations and bits of necrotic flesh. So you can confirm that this actually...
Yeah, it was used for harvesting adrenochrome, adrenaline, and chromochrome. Additionally, there was large duffel bags full of the black heroin.
Black tar heroin, yeah.
Okay, I didn't see that there, sir.
Yeah, okay. And so I'm assuming that's all going to be part of the disclosure process once they arrest him, I suppose, if he's not already arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And then that goes back to the ceremony on the 20th. They are building a fence around the Capitol building. And so you have suggested that they're probably going to use that fence to keep round them up and bring the National Guard in there. They're not going to get out of that area.
Yep. And they're trying to escape through the tunnels, but those tunnels, they're not getting out of there either. 200 ran already, and they've already been apprehended of the 7,000 original fake troops.
Yeah. So if the United States Inc. Incorporated is abandoned and its officers are arrested or vacated, and plus the business itself has been bankrupt and put under foreclosure or it's been dissolved, that means that what's left would be the Republic of the United States, which the last president we had under the Republic was I think it was Ulysses Grant, if I'm not mistaken. So Trump,
Ulysses S. Grant.
Ulysses. Thank you very much. I apologize if I didn't say that right. So yeah, so Trump will be our 19th president because the Republic of Organic Act of 1871 is what took over. Is there anything you want to add to any of that?
And that would be his first term. So if he wanted to, he could do 2 terms from being elected for that. But of course, that involves NASARA and the general stepping in and administering the government until the Nasara is done and the elections are held and the Army Corps of Engineers machines are used that can only count votes one time. The military administers the vote, so it's done fairly, and that citizens of the United States are the only people who are alive and not felons and of legal voting age, etc., are voting only one time, and then the votes are counted by the machine one time, and then they are sent, and the electoral college represents it, and then the president would be sworn in 120. So if we count that as the timeline currently stands, that Biden is arrested during inauguration and the Nasara is announced, and then a general steps in place to administer the government, and the dissolves the corporation and puts us back with the constitutional republic as per the Constitution for these United States, for America. Then it would be May 20th that the president would be inaugurated, which means they'd have to have an amendment to make some changes, because inauguration from then on, 4-year term, would be from May 20th.
Will there actually be new elections, or are they going to just go with the original results?
No, there'd be a complete new election, complete new process, complete new. You're probably going to have new parties, because I don't see the Democratic Party, and a lot of rhinos too. So you may have 3 new parties. They're looking to try to get away from a 2-party to a 3-party system. Then you would have the 3 parties monitoring and the votes like it was how it's supposed to be. And then once the president's done, like they've already done in Russia, then the Congress and Senate would step down. There'd be complete new votes for that. Then you go to the state governors, it goes all the way down. So it would take, most of the year to completely redo the government. That's how the timeline sits currently.
Chris.